When my daughter-in-law Rachel hissed, "Helen, please stop talking about your old factory stories. You're embarrassing us in front of important people during my grandson's college graduation party," she was silencing the woman who had secretly served on the board of directors at Morrison Industries for 37 years, controlled the executive hiring decisions that determined her husband's career trajectory at the accounting firm, and maintained the private consulting relationships that influenced every major promotion decision at the law office, where she herself worked as a junior associate, all because the ambitious attorney who assumed her 74-year-old mother-in-law was just another rambling elderly relative sharing inappropriate blue-collar memories at sophisticated social gatherings never bothered to research why her firm's senior partners always seemed unusually interested in her family connections, why her husband's accounting career had advanced so smoothly despite mediocre performance reviews, and why the Morrison Industries account that kept both their companies profitable required such specific family consultation protocols, never realizing that the embarrassing old factory worker they regularly silenced at family events was actually the retired executive vice president of corporate strategy whose $47 million investment portfolio and decades of executive board relationships had been quietly ensuring that ungrateful family members maintained perfect professional advancement, while treating the elderly woman whose corporate influence created their opportunities like an outdated embarrassment at networking gatherings in the very careers she had been orchestrating from behind the scenes. Before we dive into this incredible story of family shame meeting corporate reality and the executive empire my ungrateful relatives never knew existed, make sure to hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me about your worst experience with family members who dismissed your achievements while benefiting from your success, and subscribe so you never miss stories like this one about what happens when entitled relatives assume elderly family members are irrelevant, embarrassed, only to discover just how catastrophically wrong they can be when family disrespect meets the kind of corporate authority that could transform their comfortable professional lives into a harsh lesson about respect and the true meaning of appreciating the elders whose wisdom and connections create every career opportunity they considered evidence of their individual merit. My name is Helen Catherine Brennan. I'm 74 years old, and this story begins on May 18, 2024, when I attended my grandson Tommy's graduation celebration at the exclusive Riverside Country Club carrying what my family assumed were more rambling stories about the old days at the factory, stories that would reveal my son Michael's wife's true character, and teach her the most expensive lesson about dismissing elderly relatives whose quiet corporate influence had been ensuring that promising young professionals maintained perfect career advancement, seamless promotion opportunities, and the kind of anonymous executive backing that determined whether ambitious lawyers and accountants could afford luxury suburban living or spend their evenings updating resumes for positions that required the corporate relationships and board-level recommendations that only decades of executive excellence could provide. To understand how my daughter-in-law, Rachel Marie Thornton Brennan, a 31-year-old junior associate at Whitfield & Associates law firm earning $70,000 mortgage home in one of Chicago's most desirable suburban neighborhoods, ended up watching her comfortable professional trajectory disappear through legitimate corporate networking protocols within 96 hours of telling her elderly mother-in-law to stop sharing embarrassing factory stories at family gatherings. You need to know who I was before my carefully maintained image as a nostalgic retired factory worker concealed the executive leadership expertise and corporate board authority that had elevated me from entry-level assembly line worker in 19 strategy at Morrison Industries, a position that required overseeing $2.1 billion in annual contract negotiations and creating the professional development network that determined career advancement for over 500 employees throughout the greater Chicago metropolitan area. For 41 extraordinary years I was Helen Brennan, dedicated corporate executive at one of Illinois' most influential manufacturing conglomerates, starting as a floor supervisor when workplace gender equality was experimental new policy and advancing through every level of corporate responsibility until my retirement in 2009. As executive vice president with authorization over executive hiring decisions, professional development coordination, strategic partnership systems that most people never understand or appreciate. My career had encompassed every aspect of corporate leadership, from basic personnel management to complex multi-company professional relationship coordination that determined whether promising employees maintained their career advancement across decades, whether young professionals received appropriate mentorship and promotion support, and whether the next generation of successful business leaders achieved the professional stability and career excellence that distinguished lasting prosperity from temporary positioning and professional development abandonment. The scope of my executive responsibilities had grown to encompass managing professional development networks for 89 different companies across 7 industries, coordinating with federal business development authorities who required accurate documentation for contract compliance, implementing career support protocols that balanced individual advancement with corporate accountability requirements, designing professional mentorship systems that synchronized career development between law firms, accounting agencies, and manufacturing corporations, and troubleshooting advancement complications that could affect everything from individual professional success to multi-generational career development that influenced business markets and professional excellence throughout the Midwestern corporate community. During my 4 decades of distinguished executive service, I had personally overseen career development for over $890 million in corporate professional programs, supervised coordination between 20 and professional institutions across 4 states, collaborated with federal business officials who required accurate regional data for policy analysis, and managed professional support protocols during economic crises that required immediate coordination between law firms, accounting companies, and manufacturing corporations to ensure career stability while maintaining market integrity and privacy protections that balanced professional access with advancement optimization and federal compliance requirements. The transformation that I had witnessed and managed during my career was extraordinary, from manual personnel documentation systems in traditional corporate filing cabinets to sophisticated encrypted platforms that could instantly verify employment eligibility, performance status, promotion verification, and advancement availability across global networks that connected individual professional support to international corporate development systems. I had been personally responsible for training over 84 corporate professionals in career administration protocol, federal compliance procedures, and advancement management techniques that required both advanced business expertise and deep understanding of corporate law, federal employment regulations, and constitutional privacy protection. My position as Executive Vice President meant that I possessed what was essentially master-level access to the Midwestern Corporate Development Network, the ability to classify employment eligibility, coordinate multi-company advancement distribution, implement emergency career support protocol, and evaluate employee conduct that could instantly transform someone's professional status from guaranteed advancement to comprehensive performance review requiring extensive character evaluation and federal compliance verification to complete through proper corporate channels and document processes. But perhaps the most significant aspect of my corporate career was my role in developing and implementing the automated professional development protocols that determined how career advancement flowed between private corporations, federal business system, mentorship verification networks, and family professional coordination. I had personally written advancement specifications that guided career development for dozens of Chicago's most successful professional families, established coordination procedures between law firms and federal business authorities, and created evaluation protocols that ensured consistent, appropriate career distribution across professional programs that served both individual advancement needs and community business excellence requirements. The corporate infrastructure that I had helped design and implement served as the model for national professional development, with business authorities in other regions consulting our protocols for guidance on advancement management, career coordination, and compliance implementation that balanced employee expectations with business development optimization. My expertise had been featured in corporate industry publications and consulted by professional firms throughout the Midwest who wanted to implement similar career administration systems and automated protocols that served both individual advancement needs and multi-generational professional monitoring requirements. Rachel's comfortable life in her prestigious Lincoln Park townhome, which she considered evidence of her legal excellence and professional management skill, was actually supported by the kind of seamless corporate planning and professional administration that I had been developing and maintaining throughout my entire career. The perfect performance evaluations that ensured her family maintained excellent career flexibility. The smooth promotion distributions that had helped them during their law school transition 4 years ago. the comprehensive professional support that enabled their aggressive lifestyle strategy, and the mentorship coordination that provided networking optimization for their career investments, all depended on the kind of sophisticated corporate management and professional administration that required exactly the expertise I had been developing for over 4 decades. Michael Thomas Brennan had achieved what appeared to be remarkable professional success as a senior financial analyst at Chicago Metropolitan Accounting Services, one of Illinois' most respected corporate accounting firms. His position was consistently ranked among the top analytical roles in the tri-state area, and his client management skills had earned recognition from firm leadership, who considered him a candidate for partnership position during the next corporate restructure. His financial evaluations consistently rated him in the top 20% of analysts, and his client acquisition contributions to the firm's growth had been featured in accounting industry publications throughout the greater Chicago business community. The professional foundation that enabled Michael's suburban lifestyle success included not only his $73,000 salary and analytical achievements, but also the career support structure that I had carefully planned and coordinated through my corporate industry expertise. The private mentorship network that had been established to support his professional advancement provided monthly career guidance worth $1,250, annual professional development coverage based on industry assessment, and access to networking facilities that enabled him to pursue expensive continuing education programs without compromising his personal financial security or family stability maintenance during his advancement trajectory. Michael's suburban achievement reflected sophisticated professional planning and strategic positioning that prepared him for career advancement in Chicago's most respected business neighborhood. His professional choices included experience with corporate financial analysis, premium client relationships, and business community amenities that provided comprehensive career advantages in the most desirable aspects of corporate professional living. His advancement focus on partnership development had attracted attention from financial advisors at major accounting firms, seeking employees who understood both corporate analysis and professional financial planning throughout the competitive Chicago business environment. The success of Michael's professional advancement had attracted attention from corporate professionals and business specialists who considered him a model for young analysts pursuing aggressive career development strategy, a highly competitive trajectory that could lead to multi-company opportunities and significant professional advancement. His current career progression included professional development, worth a combined $87,000 in advancement equity enhancement, with preliminary assessments indicating strong potential for partnership consideration and market positioning at premium corporate professional levels throughout the competitive accounting industry. But what made Michael's professional achievement particularly impressive was his transition from community college accounting to corporate leadership, which required substantial career preparation, sophisticated networking strategy, and professional resources that distinguished successful analysts from failed applicants who underestimated the complexity and relationship requirements of corporate accounting advancement. His success had been supported by strategic mentorship investment and career coordination that provided both professional funding and ongoing advancement stability during the challenging years of career establishment and corporate community integration. The Chicago accounting firm where Michael worked represented both his professional success and his commitment to maintaining the kind of sophisticated career that distinguished successful financial analysts from those who compromised personal advancement for job security and necessity. The beautifully appointed downtown office where he maintained his practice featured modern technology, client meeting spaces optimized for professional consultation, and the kind of comfortable working environment that enabled Michael to focus on career advancement rather than professional stress and networking complications that destroyed countless accounting careers. The professional neighborhood where Michael's firm was located was known throughout Chicago's business community as housing for successful corporate analysts and young professionals who could afford premium career advancement opportunities. The corporate office requirements that exceeded what financial analysts could manage through their salaries had never prompted Michael to question why his advancement evaluations were consistently processed as automatically approved by executive consultation, rather than requiring personal networking management and professional development, that characterized his colleagues' career advancement experiences. Michael's professional colleagues, many of whom worked longer hours or continued additional education to manage their substantial career advancement requirements, had often commented on his professional freedom and ability to maintain an upscale lifestyle while pursuing accounting career advancement. The luxury vehicles that his family drove, a 2022 Lexus RX 350 with monthly payments of $580 and Rachel's 2020. The kind of financial commitment that most accounting professionals couldn't afford without compromising their professional development expenses or accumulating additional debt that extended their career obligations well beyond their advancement potential. The professional development activities that Michael and Rachel pursued for continuing education, industry conferences, and career advancement never seemed to accumulate the crushing debt that characterized their colleagues' professional experience. While his professional peers worked weekend consulting projects or took on additional client responsibilities to supplement their advancement funding, Michael maintained focus on his primary career and family time without the professional pressure that forced most accounting professionals to balance career excellence with economic survival during competitive business environments. Michael's family lifestyle reflected the professional freedom that distinguished him from his peers, who spent weekends working additional projects or managing career budgets to avoid advancement complications. His regular activities included dining at Chicago's finest business restaurants, attending accounting conferences that weren't covered by company budgets, and maintaining the kind of professional and family lifestyle that enabled him to present himself as a successful corporate analyst rather than a professionally struggling financial professional. The career amenities that Michael and Rachel enjoyed, premium professional development, luxury business networking, professional consultation service, and advancement coordination systems, reflected comprehensive lifestyle support that exceeded what most accounting professionals could afford through their salary. Their professional development investment, worth over $12,000 in current advancement opportunity and consultation, provided them with career advantages that many of their peers couldn't access due to financial constraints and professional development limitations. But what Michael completely failed to understand was that his comfortable professional trajectory and suburban advantages weren't the result of superior analytical skills or individual achievement. They were the direct result of career support that I had been coordinating through my private professional network for his entire accounting experience. The seamless advancement experiences that he considered evidence of his personal competence were actually carefully orchestrated support systems that required sophisticated corporate management and continuous coordination between accounting firms and professional development organizations. The Brennan Professional Development Trust, which I had established during the final years of my career at Morrison Industries, operated with an endowment of $12.4 million dedicated to supporting promising young professionals who demonstrated both career potential and character integrity throughout their advancement journey. The Trust's mission statement emphasized the importance of creating opportunities for young professionals to focus on their career development and family advancement, rather than professional survival, enabling the next generation of successful business leaders to develop the stability and prosperity necessary for community contribution and professional. The career selection process that had identified Michael as a trust beneficiary 7 years earlier had been based on his professional achievements, advancement potential, and character assessment evaluations that evaluated his potential for business leadership and community contribution. The comprehensive evaluation that qualified him for career support included recommendations from professional colleagues, community service documentation, and personal statements that demonstrated his commitment to professional excellence and corporate responsibility. But perhaps most importantly, the Trust's beneficiary requirements included ongoing character assessment and demonstration of values that aligned with the Trust's mission of creating professionals who understood both career responsibility and family respect. The advancement agreement that Mike had signed, though he had never realized the true source of his professional professional funding included specific provisions about maintaining character standards and demonstrating respect for family relationships and elderly obligations that distinguished responsible professionals from those who prioritized personal advancement over family loyalty and traditional values. The Trust's monitoring protocols included annual reviews of beneficiary or professional progress, character development assessment, and evaluation of how advancement recipients treated family relationships and elderly obligations. The comprehensive evaluation process that determined continued fund eligibility wasn't limited to professional achievement. It included assessment of whether beneficiaries maintained the kind of character and values that justified continued investment in their career development and professional advance. Michael's professional excellence and corporate achievement had always met the Trust's career standard, but the character assessment component of his beneficiary status had never been formally evaluated because family relationships and elderly obligations hadn't been tested during his intensive career focus. The Trust's protocols included specific provisions for character review when beneficiaries demonstrated behavior that conflicted with the values of family service and elderly respect that the Trust considered essential for ethical professional advance. The irony of being dismissed as an embarrassing elderly relative by the family members whose professional lives depended entirely on the corporate influence and career support that I had been coordinating and protecting throughout their advancement experience was not lost on me. The system silencing that I had experienced during family social events represented exactly the kind of character evidence that justified implementing comprehensive career review protocols and professional development reconsideration that could transform expected support into accountability assessment character evaluation requirement. My modest ranch home in Oak Park, which Michael and Rachel had visited occasionally during family gatherings and considered evidence of my limited post-retirement lifestyle, actually served as the primary coordination center for the Brennan Professional Development Network's operation. The simple furnishings and traditional decor that they observed during their infrequent visits, concealed, sophisticated communication systems, encrypted internet connections, and corporate management infrastructure that maintained direct connectivity with executive administrators at 30 professional institutions and enabled immediate response to career emergencies or character assessment requirements affecting professional advancement and corporate relationship management throughout the greater Chicago business community. The home office that appeared to casual visitors as a simple retirement workspace with basic computer equipment actually contained specialized database systems and corporate management hardware that provided direct access to professional development network, emergency career funding protocols for family support, and secure connections to federal business databases that required the highest levels of security clearance and professional authentication to access and maintain throughout the corporate community during advancement, coordination, and career development administration. The daily routine that Michael and Rachel occasionally observed during family visits, which they interpreted as simple retirement activities and limited social engagement, actually included coordinating career distribution operations that affected supervising emergency response protocols for advancement crises that could disrupt career development throughout multiple companies, and providing administrative consultation for federal business officials who relied on accurate regional data for professional policy analysis and career investment development. May 18th had begun as what appeared to be routine coordination of family celebration plans and traditional graduation obligations that should have been easily managed through basic family consideration and elderly inclusion responsibility. My attendance at Tommy's graduation party at the Riverside Country Club had been planned for over 3 months, with confirmed participation and family celebration coordination that represented standard family protocol and basic elderly inclusion, rather than unusual burden or exceptional demand on family members during important milestone celebrations. The graduation celebration that Rachel had coordinated included venue planning for the extended family attendance, catering arrangements for traditional celebration meal coordination, and social arrangements that accommodated the regular family participants who gathered for milestone events that represented our most important family tradition. The event planning that she typically managed included networking opportunities for professional colleagues, social coordination for her law firm associates, and the customary family inclusion that acknowledged regular participation in family celebrations. But what made Rachel's system embarrassment particularly devastating was her comfortable assumption that elderly relatives should accommodate young families' professional presentation requirements through social silence rather than expecting family inclusion during traditional networking gatherings. The calculated language she used to silence my celebration participation, "You're embarrassing us in front of important people," revealed months of strategic thinking about family obligation management that prioritized professional presentation over elderly inclusion and family tradition maintenance. That continued after her dismissal revealed Rachel's complete confidence about family relationship management and her systematic approach to elderly obligation minimization that treated my celebration participation as complications requiring independent resolution rather than responsibilities deserving immediate attention and priority consideration. The comfortable silencing that she employed demonstrated months of strategic calculation about family loyalty optimization and professional advancement that justified dismissing elderly attendance during important networking gatherings. Sometimes the most expensive mistake you can make is assuming that professional advancement and career support are automatic entitlements that continue regardless of how the beneficiaries treat the elderly relatives whose corporate influence created their opportunities. The embarrassing fact stories that Rachel refused to let me share during our family gathering would become the documented evidence of character priorities that justified redirecting career resources and professional development funding to serve more deserving employees who understood the value of both advanced support and the elderly wisdom that created opportunities for meaningful professional security and authentic corporate contribution. What my family never understood during all those years of treating me like a simple retired factory worker who needed help with modern technology and corp terminology was that their comfortable assumption about my limited capabilities revealed their complete ignorance of the executive empire I had built throughout the Chicago business community, an empire that operated so seamlessly and efficiently that its very invisibility had become its greatest strength and my family's most dangerous vulnerability to professional catastrophe and career destruction. The modest ranch home in Oak Park where I had lived for 15 years, which Michael and Rachel considered evidence of my limited post-retirement success and outdated lifestyle choices, served as the primary coordination center for the Midwest Corporate Excellence Network, equipped with secured communication systems, encrypted internet connections, and executive infrastructure that maintained 24/7 connectivity with business institutions throughout 12 states and enabled immediate response to professional emergencies that could affect millions of dollars in corporate funding and career development support activities across the entire regional business community. My living room, which appeared to casual visitors as a simple retirement space with traditional furniture and family photographs, contained sophisticated database systems and executive management hardware that provided direct access to the primary servers at the Brennan Professional Development Trust, backup communication protocols for emergency career coordination, and secure connections to federal business databases that required the highest levels of security clearance and professional authentication to access and maintained throughout the corporate community during advancement administration and professional development coordination. The technology setup that I had installed throughout my home represented over $380,000 in specialized equipment and software licensing that enabled me to coordinate career distribution activities, respond to professional emergencies, and maintain the executive infrastructure that supported dozens of Midwestern families' most important career goals throughout Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Michigan. The multiple high-resolution monitors that lined my home office walls displayed real-time status information from corporate databases across 12 states, automated alert systems that notified me of advancement errors or compliance issues requiring immediate attention, and coordination interfaces that allowed me to communicate with business professionals, federal development officials, and trust administrators throughout the Midwestern region. But beyond the physical infrastructure that supported my executive coordination responsibilities, what made my home-based operations particularly powerful was the comprehensive network of professional relationships and federal coordination protocols that I had developed throughout my 41-year career in corporate leadership and professional development management. The daily phone calls that my family occasionally overheard weren't social conversations with retired colleagues. They were strategic consultations with federal business administrators, crisis coordination with corporate advancement officials, and technical support for professional institutions that processed millions of dollars in daily career distribution throughout Illinois and surrounding states. The Brennan Institute for Corporate Professional Excellence, which I had established during the final years of my career at Morrison Industries, had become the most respected professional development training program in the United States, providing advanced education for career coordinators, federal compliance officials, and corporate professionals who needed expertise in multi-institution advancement, integration, professional protocol implementation, and crisis response coordination that maintained business stability during funding emergencies and career distribution complications. Our institute accepted only 6 participants annually through an application process more competitive than federal administrative positions, requiring extensive experience in corporate development management, professional administration, or career coordination before candidates qualified for consideration. The program fee of $525,000 reflected both the specialized nature of our training and the career advancement opportunities that graduation provided for business professionals seeking leadership positions in federal development agencies, corporate administration, or private executive organizations. The waiting list for admission to the Brennan Institute extended over 5 years, with applications from senior administrative professionals at major corporations, federal business officials seeking advanced career management training, and executive administrators responsible for professional coordination and advancement oversight throughout multiple Midwestern states. We regularly declined applications from Wall Street executives who lacked the specialized knowledge of corporate development systems and federal professional regulations that distinguished our program from general business management education and basic executive training. What made our program unique wasn't just the administrative training quality, it was the federal coordination experience and professional networking opportunities that came with graduation from the most respected corporate development program in North American business administration. Brennan Institute graduates received automatic consideration for federal business positions that never advertised openings, gained access to our network of executive professionals and federal funding officials, could leverage our consultation services to build careers in corporate development management that would be impossible to achieve through traditional university education and standard business administration advancement. The advanced curriculum that we provided included hands-on training in federal business integration protocols, emergency response coordination during professional crises, multi-institution advancement, coordination, corporate development database management, and compliance implementation that protected professional privacy while maintaining career access and federal business monitoring capability. Our graduates managed advancement databases for federal business agencies, coordinated career operations for major metropolitan areas, and supervised funding operations for professional institutions that handled billions of dollars in annual corporate assets. But perhaps the most significant aspect of the Brennan Institute was our role in developing and implementing the next generation of corporate development protocols that would determine how professional resources were managed, secured, and coordinated between private career organizations and federal business databases. The graduates from our program were leading administrative innovation at organizations like the National Association of Corporate Trusts, the American Professional Management Association, major business systems, implementing compliance protocols for federal development agencies, and coordinating advancement management for state professional systems throughout the United States and Canada. The professional relationships that had developed through our institute included direct connections with senior executives at every major corporation, federal business officials responsible for national career coordination, and administrative professionals who managed advancement systems for state governments, municipal development offices, and corporate professional development departments throughout North America and selected international business programs. These relationships represented decades of professional collaboration and mutual respect that created opportunities for strategic coordination and immediate response capabilities that most executive professionals could never access or afford. My daily routine, which my family observed during their infrequent visits and considered evidence of simple retirement activities and limited social engagement, actually included coordinating career distribution operations that affected over supervising emergency response protocols for advancement failures that could disrupt business stability throughout multiple states, and providing administrative consultation for federal development officials who relied on accurate regional data for national policy analysis and career allocation development. The morning schedule that began each day at 5:15 a.m. included reviewing overnight system alerts from corporate databases across 12 states, analyzing automated error reports that identified potential compliance issues or advancement integrity problems requiring immediate attention, coordinating with federal business databases that synchronized with our regional systems during off-peak hours, and implementing system updates that maintained compliance protocols and improved database performance for millions of professional records and career transactions. The afternoon coordination activities included supervising advancement integration between corporate offices and federal agencies, troubleshooting system errors that affected career allocation visibility and professional application process, coordinating with federal development officials who needed accurate regional data for policy analysis and advancement development, and managing crisis response protocols during economic downturns that required immediate coordination between multiple state agencies and private executive organizations. The evening consultation work included providing administrative guidance for business professionals who encountered advancement errors or system integration problems, coordinating with international corporations that implemented our protocols for career management systems in other countries, and conducting strategic planning with federal development officials who relied on our expertise for national database modernization and compliance enhancement initiatives. But beyond the administrative coordination responsibilities that occupied most of my daily schedule, what made my corporate development expertise particularly valuable was my comprehensive understanding of how professional systems affected individual families and business communities throughout the United States and Canada. Every professional who received timely advancement distributions, every career that operated efficiently, every corporate grant that reached appropriate recipients, and every emergency response that coordinated effectively represented the successful implementation of systems and protocols that I had spent decades developing, refining, and maintaining. The Morrison Industries organization, where I had spent my entire career, wasn't just a regional manufacturing contractor. It was the exclusive provider of coordination services for the Federal Corporate Development Administration's North American Regional Integration Network, coordinating professional advancement funding for over 1,000 RD municipal jurisdictions, 54 major metropolitan business areas, and managing distribution integration with 267 different corporate offices across 12 states. Our systems processed over $6.2 billion in annual career transactions, coordinated professional advancement for over 650 different corporations and executive organizations, and maintained the infrastructure that enabled platforms like Federal Development Administration, private corporate trust, and executive networks to provide effective career management and professional advancement for thousands of North American businesses. The scope of our advancement management operations required coordination with the Department of Labor for professional compliance and audit support, Department of Commerce for corporate development program integration, the Internal Revenue Service for professional tax compliance verification, the Federal Reserve for federal advancement program coordination, and the Department of Homeland Security for professional advancement verification and security monitoring that supported both individual privacy protection and national security requirements. My security clearance level required annual background investigations, financial audit, psychological evaluations, and professional competency assessments that ensured only the most qualified and trustworthy executive professionals maintained access to systems that could affect national career programs, regional business stability, and federal development policy development. The clearance process included polygraph examinations, extensive interviews with professional colleagues and federal officials, and continuous monitoring that verified my continued reliability and commitment to maintaining the highest standards of professional integrity and system security. The administrative innovations that I had developed during my career included automated integration protocols that synchronized career data between corporate databases and federal development systems, compliance algorithms that protected professional privacy while maintaining advancement accessibility, error detection systems that identified funding irregularities before they affected business finance, and crisis response protocols that maintained system stability during equipment failures or cybersecurity incidents that could affect millions of professional records and billions of dollars in career activity. These innovations had been adopted by corporations throughout North America, implemented by federal development agencies for national database modernization, and licensed to international business organizations that wanted to implement similar integration systems and compliance protocols for corporate development management in European Union countries, Australia, New Zealand, and Pacific Rim nations, seeking to modernize their professional systems and improve advancement coordination between government agencies and private executive organizations. The consulting contracts that I had negotiated with federal development agencies included ongoing administrative support for database modernization projects, emergency response coordination during system failures that affected multiple state compliance assessment and enhancement for federal career databases, and strategic planning for next-generation advancement technology that would improve system integration and reduce career management costs, while maintaining accuracy and security standards that protected both individual professional privacy and federal development monitoring capability. But perhaps the most significant aspect of my career administration authority was my role in determining which professionals received priority processing and optimal advancement visibility throughout the North American Regional Corporate Development Network. The integration protocols that I had designed included automated quality assessment algorithms that evaluated career applications for appropriateness and completeness, determined advancement positioning based on professional need and character stat, and implemented enhanced allocation protocols for professionals who met the highest standards for business impact and character potential. This meant that professionals associated with my personal relatives had always received the most favorable career treatment possible, priority processing for advancement coordination, enhanced distribution visibility that attracted maximum professional benefit, expedited application coordination that reduced approval timeframes, and automated compliance verification that prevented administrative problems from affecting their career access or professional status. The seamless advancement experiences that Michael and Rachel had always enjoyed were natural consequences of professional excellence or superior career management. They were the direct result of career preferences and administrative advantages that I had been providing through my coordination authority and system access. Michael's comfortable life in his prestigious downtown office had benefited from perfect professional services coordination, seamless career distribution process, and enhanced advancement allocation that attracted maximum professional support because I had personally implemented distribution protocols that ensured optimal career visibility and advancement accuracy. The smooth promotion approval processes that had helped him during his community college to corporate transition 5 years ago had benefited from expedited verification and automated compliance checking that reduced approval timeframes and prevented common administrative delays that affected most career applications. The comprehensive professional services that enabled his corporate lifestyle reflected advancement coordination that I had maintained between business systems and federal development databases, preventing the service gaps and administrative complications that could have significantly affected his access to career advancement and professional support, the excellent networking opportunities that supported his business development, the emergency professional programs that provided additional support, and the career infrastructure that supported his family lifestyle, all depended on professional coordination and executive management that required exactly the kind of administrative expertise and federal coordination that I had been providing throughout my entire career. Michael Thomas Brennan presented himself to his professional colleagues as a self-made corporate success story, the ambitious son of a retired factory worker who had earned his way into business leadership through career excellence and financial responsibility. His carefully constructed narrative of individual achievement and personal professional management reflected the kind of bootstrap mythology that resonated with his accounting colleagues and corporate neighbors who admired his apparent career independence and business stability. The story that Michael told about his professional journey emphasized his analytical achievements at Chicago Metropolitan Accounting Services, where he had advanced from junior analyst to senior financial analyst while maintaining consistently high client satisfaction ratings and contributing to firm growth through strategic financial development. His corporate advancement had been celebrated by colleagues and friends as evidence of his exceptional career progression and dedication to professional excellence. During his business experience, Michael had distinguished himself through professional development that earned recognition from industry associations, corporate involvement that demonstrated his commitment to business development, and career management that positioned his advancement as models of corporate success. His continuing education projects had included certification programs, professional training, and networking improvements that increased career value and business appeal. The corporate achievements that Michael proudly displayed throughout his office, framed professional award, business recognition certificates, and career accomplishment photographs told the story of a dedicated professional who had earned every opportunity through analytical rigor and financial responsibility. His accounting project successes, business leadership roles, and professional development recognitions created a comprehensive picture of corporate achievement that justified his confident approach to career financial planning and business engagement. But what Michael's carefully curated success narrative completely omitted was any acknowledgement of the professional support system that had made his career achievements possible. The trust funding that had covered his $38,000 continuing education expenses, the advancement coordination that had enabled him to qualify for premium promotion terms, and the emergency career assistance that had provided stability during unexpected professional development expenses, all remained invisible in his personal story of individual achievement and business responsibility. The lifestyle that Michael maintained in his Lincoln Park neighborhood reflected professional freedom that distinguished him from his corporate peers who struggled with career debt, exceeding at worked additional consulting projects to supplement their income, and managed tight professional budgets to afford corporate advancement expenses. Michael's ability to maintain premium career development, pursue expensive professional activity, and invest in business enhancements without financial pressure created a comfortable buffer that enabled him to excel professionally while his colleagues balanced career demands with economic constraints. Michael's social media presence, which he maintained to network with business professionals and document his career progression, featured photographs of professional development projects, corporate networking experiences, and business advancement activities that reflected the lifestyle of a successful corporate executive rather than a financially struggling accounting analyst. His LinkedIn and Facebook profiles showcased career achievements, business involvement, and professional development activities that reinforced his image as a rising star in corporate accounting leadership. The professional networking that Michael maintained, membership in accounting association, attendance at business conferences, and participation in corporate development organizations, reflected investment in his career advancement that exceeded what most financial analysts could afford on their salaries. His collection of professional development resource accounting reference materials and business publications represented thousands of dollars in career investment that distinguished his preparation from colleagues who relied on company-provided resources and basic professional development to manage their career advancement. Michael's approach to business involvement included membership in corporate associations, volunteer activities with professional organizations, and participation in career development programs that required time and financial investment beyond the basic requirements of corporate community citizen. His additional certifications, continuing education activities, and professional networking investments reflected comprehensive career planning that assumed professional stability and freedom from the economic pressures that limited his neighbor's business engagement opportunity. The confidence that Michael displayed in professional and business settings reflected his comfortable assumption that his lifestyle and opportunities were the natural result of his career achievements and analytical capability. His interactions with accounting colleagues, corporate leaders, and business organization members demonstrated the self-assurance of someone who had never experienced serious professional insecurity or questioned the stability of his career support system. But perhaps the most revealing aspect of Michael's character was his complete lack of curiosity about the professional mechanisms that supported his comfortable lifestyle, the trust distributions that arrived without application process, the advancement coordination that processed without personal career management complications, and the emergency funding that appeared during unexpected professional expenses, never prompted questions about the source or sustainability of his career support system. The attitude that Michael had developed toward family relationships reflected his comfortable assumption that his success was entirely self-generated and that elderly relatives represented obligations that interfered with his professional advancement, rather than potential sources of wisdom, support, or connection. His approach to family gatherings, holiday visits, and elderly care responsibilities demonstrated the kind of calculated relationship management that prioritized professional networking over traditional family values. Rachel Marie Thornton Brennan had constructed an even more elaborate narrative of personal achievement and independent success, presenting herself as a modern legal professional who had built her career through strategic thinking and professional excellence, while maintaining perfect work-life balance and family career management. Her carefully curated professional image emphasized her transition from law school graduate to junior associate, while establishing family responsibilities and managing career coordination that demonstrated her capability and organizational expertise. The legal cases that Rachel had managed at Whitfield and Associates had earned recognition from industry publications, client satisfaction awards, and internal advancement opportunities that positioned her as one of the firm's most promising female attorneys. Her client portfolio included major corporate clients, financial services companies, and business startups that generated significant revenue and established her reputation as a strategic legal professional capable of managing complex cases and client relationships. Rachel's approach to work-life balance had become a model for other working professionals in her legal network, with speaking engagements at law conferences, featured articles in professional publications, and mentor relationships with younger legal professionals who sought her guidance about balancing career advancement with family responsibilities. Her systematic approach to time management and family coordination had earned recognition that extended beyond her immediate professional circle. The career management system that Rachel had developed for coordinating professional schedules, case maintenance, and business involvement reflected sophisticated organizational skills that impressed colleagues, friends, and professional associates who struggled to balance similar responsibilities without her apparent efficiency and success. Her ability to maintain excellent legal performance, coordinate family activities, and excel professionally created an image of superwoman capabilities that distinguished her from working professionals who made visible compromises between career and family obligations. But what made Rachel's confidence particularly problematic was her systematic dismissal of elderly relatives and her professional assessment of which family relationships deserved her time and attention. The strategic thinking that she applied to family relationship management reflected her comfortable assumption that elderly relatives represented inefficient use of time and emotional energy that could be better invested in career advancement and professional development activities that contributed to her legal success and corporate lifestyle maintenance. Rachel's treatment of Michael's elderly relatives, including his mother, elderly aunts, and family friends, reflected systematic dismissal of their potential contributions to her family's success and development. Her conversations during family events focused on her legal achievements and career management successes, while treating elderly relatives' stories, experiences, and perspectives as irrelevant interruptions to her strategic professional planning and career advancement. The language that Rachel used to describe family obligations revealed her fundamental approach to relationship management
and her systematic calculation of which connections deserved her time and attention. Her comfortable dismissal of elderly relatives as time-consuming obligations reflected months of strategic thinking about family relationship optimization that treated traditional obligations as obstacles to overcome rather than values to maintain and honor. During family gatherings at holiday celebrations, Rachel's behavior demonstrated her systematic approach to managing elderly relatives and her professional assessment of which family interactions contributed to her personal advancement. Her tendency to spend family events coordinating professional activities and discussing career developments, while avoiding extended conversations with elderly family members, revealed her calculated approach to relationship management and personal advancement optimization. The casual confidence that Rachel displayed when discussing her future career plans, senior associate positions, partnership opportunity and eventual private practice development, reflected her comfortable assumption that her professional support system would continue indefinitely without requiring acknowledgement, gratitude, or reciprocal family responsibility. Her long-term planning included expensive career development programs, professional expansion possibilities, and lifestyle enhancement investments that assumed continued career stability, without any recognition of the executive infrastructure that made her ambitious planning possible. Rachel's role in family career planning included responsibility for professional budget management, business activity coordination, and career development decision-making that required sophisticated organizational skills and professional awareness. Her systematic approach to career expense management, advancement coordination, and lifestyle planning reflected professional-level career management capabilities that impressed friends and colleagues who struggled with similar professional coordination challenges. The monthly expenses that Rachel managed without apparent career stress included continuing legal education, premium professional coverage, extensive networking activities, and family entertainment expenses that exceeded what most legal professionals could afford on dual professional income. Her ability to coordinate expensive professional activities without the career constraints that limited her professional peers created lifestyle opportunities and family advantages that distinguished her career management from professionals who focused solely on basic financial survival. But what made Rachel's career management particularly ironic was her complete lack of awareness that her comfortable professional position was temporary and conditional rather than permanent, and guaranteed. Executive protocols that supported her family's career stability included specific provisions for character assessment and ongoing evaluation of whether beneficiaries maintained the values and behaviors that justified continued trust investment in their professional development and career advancement. The career agreement that Michael had signed 7 years early, though neither he nor Rachel had ever understood its true source or conditions, included explicit requirements for maintaining character standards that aligned with the trust's mission of creating professionals who understood both career responsibility and family responsibility. The comprehensive evaluation process that determined continued advancement eligibility included assessment of how beneficiaries treated family relationships, elderly obligation, and traditional relatives who represented the values that the trust considered essential for ethical professional development.
Rachel's systematic dismissal of elderly family members and her calculated approach to family relationship management represented exactly the kind of character evidence that triggered trust review protocols and career eligibility reconsideration. The comfortable assumption that her family and professional support would continue regardless of her treatment of elderly relatives revealed her fundamental understanding of the values-based executive system that had been supporting her family's career advancement and comfortable lifestyle throughout their professional residence. The trust's monitoring systems, which Rachel had never discovered or investigated, included annual character assessments based on feedback from family members, business observations, and evaluation of whether career recipients demonstrated the kind of personal behavior and family values that justified continued investment in their professional development and career advancement. The comprehensive evaluation process that determined advancement continuation wasn't limited to professional performance. It included assessment of character development, business engagement, and family relationship management that distinguished responsible career recipients from those who prioritized personal advancement over traditional values and family contribution. Sometimes the most dangerous assumption you can make about career advancement and professional support is that they represent permanent entitlements that continue automatically regardless of character development and family relationship management. The elderly relatives who Rachel dismissed as time-consuming obligations included the very person whose executive expertise and corporate authority had created every career opportunity and lifestyle advantage that she considered evidence of her individual achievement and professional success in competitive business environments that require both professional excellence and character integrity to navigate successfully. The executive infrastructure that had operated invisibly throughout Rachel's comfortable assumptions about her family's career independence would soon become the most visible lesson of her life about the true meaning of professional development and the critical importance of treating elderly relatives with the respect and appreciation that their lifetime of corporate service and generous support deserved, rather than dismissing them as outdated embarrassments during family gatherings and career advancement activities that prioritized individual achievement over authentic family relationships and traditional values. The world that Rachel Marie Thornton Brennan had constructed around herself at Whitfield and Associates represented the pinnacle of legal achievement and professional confidence. A carefully curated environment where her status as one of the firm's most promising junior associates provided daily validation of her belief that success came through individual excellence and strategic career management, rather than external support or family assistance. Her position within the prestigious Whitfield and Associates law firm had become the foundation for a professional identity that celebrated self-reliance, legal achievement, and the kind of sophisticated corporate expertise that distinguished elite business attorneys from ordinary contract coordinators. The legal department at Whitfield and Associates, where Rachel spent her days managing major corporate accounts and complex business litigation, operated as one of the most influential law firms in the Midwest, handling over $240 million in annual client billings and serving as the primary legal partner for Fortune 500 companies throughout Illinois and the Great Lakes region. The Tier 1 firm designation that Whitfield and Associates maintained required the highest standards of legal excellence, the most advanced case management technology, and the kind of specialized legal staff that included only the most qualified junior associates and senior litigation managers. Rachel's daily responsibilities within this prestigious legal environment included managing multiple major corporate clients, simultaneously coordinating with litigation teams throughout the firm system, implementing advanced legal strategies for manufacturing companies, technology corporation, financial services clients, and supervising paralegal coordinators who sought to learn case management techniques from the firm's most accomplished associates. Her client performance evaluations consistently rated her in the top 50, with senior partners noting her exceptional strategic thinking, legal analysis under pressure, and natural leadership abilities that suggested strong potential for senior associate promotion and future partnership opportunity. The professional recognition that Rachel had earned throughout her legal career included featured cases in American Lawyer magazine, presentation of strategic insights at the American Bar Association Regional Conference, in collaboration with senior firm partners on client acquisition strategies that increased Whitfield and Associates' market share throughout the competitive Chicago legal landscape. Her specialization in corporate compliance and business litigation had attracted attention from manufacturing companies and major corporations seeking comprehensive legal solutions that combine traditional litigation with regulatory strategy and risk analytics. But beyond her legal achievements and client management contributions, what made Rachel's position at Whitfield and Associates particularly prestigious was her selection for the firm's partnership track development program, an exclusive advancement pathway that accepted only 3 legal professionals annually from across all firm departments. The program provided additional training in firm management, client relationship strategy, and legal leadership development that prepared selected participants for partnership positions and senior associate roles at major law firms throughout the United States. The partnership track development program that Rachel had joined during her second year at Whitfield and Associates required participation in monthly strategy sessions with firm executives, quarterly rotations through different legal management department, annual presentations to the board of partners about legal perspectives on litigation trends and corporate excellence innovation. The program investment of $45,000 annually was typically covered through competitive firm scholarships or client sponsorship funding for legal professionals who demonstrated exceptional litigation potential and strategic achievement. Rachel's comfortable assumption that her partnership development program participation represented recognition of her individual merit and legal excellence reflected her systematic approach to career advancement and her confident belief that professional opportunities naturally flowed to deserving candidates who demonstrated superior performance, strategic legal thinking. Her participation in executive strategy meetings, client management rotation, legal leadership development activities provided networking opportunities and career advancement that distinguished her from junior associates who focused solely on case execution without strategic professional development. The monthly strategy sessions that Rachel attended as part of the partnership track development program included presentations by firm partners, legal industry executives, and litigation innovation leaders who shared insights about legal leadership, client relationship management, the business aspects of legal services that determined firm success and professional advancement. These exclusive educational opportunities provided Rachel with knowledge about legal economics, firm administration, and strategic planning that exceeded what typical junior associates learned during their legal training. The networking opportunities that accompanied Rachel's partnership track development program participation included regular interaction with Whitfield and Associates executives, visiting legal leaders from other prestigious firm corporate industry professionals who managed billion-dollar client portfolios and influenced national legal trends and litigation standards. The professional relationships that Rachel developed through these exclusive events created career opportunities and advancement possibilities that would have been impossible to access through standard legal training and client management education. Rachel's home office in the Lincoln Park townhome had become an extension of her professional networking strategy, serving as an elegant workspace for hosting legal colleagues, firm executives, and fellow partnership track development program participants who appreciated the sophisticated environment and premium amenities that distinguished Rachel's working situation from typical legal professional home office. The monthly strategic planning sessions that Rachel organized featured carefully curated participant lists, premium catering services, and technology setups that reflected her understanding of professional entertaining and relationship management. The legal strategy events that Rachel coordinated through her home office included quarterly gatherings for partnership track development program participants, monthly networking sessions for junior associates and senior coordinator, and annual celebrations that brought together legal professionals from across Whitfield and Associates, various client management teams. These sophisticated professional activities required substantial financial investment in catering, premium technology equipment, and entertainment coordination that exceeded what most junior associates could afford on their firm salary. The professional wardrobe that Rachel maintained for her partnership track development program activities included designer business suits for executive strategy meetings, premium professional attire for client management rotation, and sophisticated formal wear for networking events and legal collaboration sessions. Her investment in professional appearance reflected her understanding that career advancement in competitive legal practice required not only litigation excellence, but also the kind of polished presentation that distinguished future firm partners from ordinary legal professionals. The continuing education activities that Rachel pursued beyond her firm requirements included membership in multiple legal associations, subscription to premium litigation publication, and attendance at optional conferences that provided additional training in corporate law techniques and legal leadership strategy. Her professional development investments reflected comprehensive career planning that assumed continued financial stability and freedom from the economic pressures that limited her peers' educational opportunity. Rachel's approach to professional relationships within Whitfield and Associates demonstrated her systematic understanding of career advancement and her strategic cultivation of connections that could influence her future opportunities in legal leadership. Her interactions with firm partner, client management administrators, and legal executives reflected careful relationship management that prioritized professional networking over casual social connections or traditional mentorship relationships that didn't contribute to strategic career development. The client acquisition projects that Rachel pursued during her legal career included collaboration with senior professionals on cases that examined corporate behavior patterns, litigation effectiveness initiatives that enhanced client satisfaction delivery, and strategic planning studies that contributed to evidence-based legal development. Her case productivity exceeded the typical expectations for junior associates and positioned her as a candidate for firm partnership positions that combined client management with legal leadership responsibility. But perhaps the most significant aspect of Rachel's professional confidence was her systematic approach to managing family obligations and personal relationships that she perceived as potential obstacles to her legal career advancement. The strategic thinking that she applied to relationship management reflected her comfortable assumption that professional success required prioritizing career development over traditional family responsibilities and elderly care obligations that didn't contribute to her strategic positioning within the competitive legal industry. The time management system that Rachel had developed for balancing her demanding legal schedule with professional development activities included specific protocols for minimizing family obligations and social commitments that didn't contribute to her career advancement. Her calendar management reflected systematic prioritization of client work, legal development activities, and professional networking over family gatherings, elderly care responsibilities, and traditional social obligations that might interfere with her strategic career plan. Rachel's communication patterns with family members demonstrated her strategic approach to relationship management and her calculated assessment of which family interactions deserved her time and attention. Her phone calls and text messages with relatives focused on professional updates and career achievements, while avoiding discussions of family needs, elderly care responsibility, or traditional obligations that might require her time or emotional investment that could be better utilized for client management and legal development. The financial planning that Rachel conducted for her post-promotion career included assumptions about firm partnership opportunities, senior associate appointments, and eventual independent practice development that reflected her confident expectation of continued professional advancement and increased earning potential. Her long-term planning included expensive legal training programs, strategic sabbaticals, and career development investments that assumed financial stability without any recognition of the external support system that made her ambitious planning possible. Rachel's social media presence reflected her systematic approach to professional image management and her strategic use of digital platforms to enhance her reputation within the legal community. Her LinkedIn profile featured regular updates about client achievements, legal presentation highlights, and professional development activities that reinforced her image as a rising star in corporate litigation excellence. Her Instagram account showcased professional conferences, legal education events, and networking activities that demonstrated her commitment to career excellence and legal advance. The legal conferences that Rachel attended beyond her firm requirements included national litigation meetings, specialized corporate training workshops, and leadership development seminars that provided additional credentials and networking opportunities. Her conference attendance reflected investment in professional development that exceeded typical junior associate activities and positioned her as a serious candidate for competitive firm partnership training and legal leadership appointment. Rachel's membership in professional organizations included the American Bar Association, the Chicago Bar Association, and the American Corporate Counsel Association, providing access to professional resources, networking opportunities, and career development support that enhanced her professional standing within the legal community. Her active participation in these organizations included committee membership, volunteer legal activities, and leadership roles that demonstrated her commitment to legal professional excellence and industry contribution.
The peer relationships that Rachel maintained within Whitfield and Associates reflected her strategic approach to professional networking and her systematic cultivation of connections with fellow junior associates who might become future colleagues, client referral sources, or career advancement resources. Her interactions with other firm professionals focused on strategic development rather than personal friendship, creating a network of legal professionals who could support her long-term career objectives and litigation advancement opportunities. Rachel's relationship with firm partners demonstrated her understanding of legal industry hierarchy and her strategic approach to mentorship and professional guidance. Her interactions with senior legal professionals focused on learning opportunities, litigation collaboration, and career advice that could influence her partnership applications and future firm advancement appointments. The respect that she earned from firm leadership reflected her client competence and professional demeanor that distinguished her as a future leader in corporate legal excellence. The legal skills that Rachel had developed during her career included advanced litigation strategy, client relationship management, legal team coordination, and corporate law techniques that positioned her as one of the firm's most capable associates. Her strategic competence, legal accuracy, and client management skills earned recognition from partners and case coordinators who considered her a reliable and effective legal practitioner with exceptional potential for firm leadership. But what made Rachel's professional competence particularly problematic was her systematic application of legal strategy principles to family relationship management, treating elderly relatives like client problems that required efficient resolution rather than family members who deserved respect, attention, and care. The analytical thinking that served her well in corporate litigation became a tool for optimizing family obligations and minimizing time investment in relationships that didn't contribute to her professional advancement or strategic career development. The decision-making framework that Rachel applied to family situations reflected her legal training and priority management and resource allocation, prioritizing urgent professional demands over routine family needs, and treating elderly care responsibilities as non-critical issues that could be deferred or delegated to other family members. Her systematic approach to family relationship management demonstrated how professional training could distort personal values when career advancement became the primary measure of success and importance. Rachel's comfortable assumption that family support should accommodate her legal career demands reflected months of strategic thinking about relationship optimization and her systematic calculation that elderly relatives should understand and support her professional priorities rather than expecting traditional family consideration and care. The confidence that she displayed about family relationship management revealed her belief that legal career advancement justified treating family obligations as optional expenses rather than essential responsibilities that deserved priority attention and emotional investment. The language that Rachel used to describe family interactions revealed her systematic approach to relationship management and her professional assessment of which family activities deserved her time and attention. Her tendency to discuss family gatherings in terms of time investment, elderly care in terms of resource allocation, and family responsibilities in terms of opportunity costs demonstrated how completely her legal training had influenced her approach to personal relationships and family values that didn't contribute to strategic career advancement. During conversations with fellow junior associates about family obligations, Rachel often shared her philosophy about maintaining professional focus and avoiding family complications that could interfere with career advancement and legal development opportunity. Her systematic approach to family relationship management had become a topic of discussion among her firm peers, with some legal professionals admiring her strategic thinking, while others questioned whether her professional focus had compromised her understanding of family values and traditional obligations that extended beyond career consideration. The partnership track development program seminars that Rachel attended included sessions on work-life balance, professional relationship management, and legal leadership that emphasized the importance of strategic thinking and efficient resource allocation in legal career development. The program's emphasis on optimization and strategic planning reinforced Rachel's systematic approach to relationship management and provided professional validation for her calculated assessment of family obligations and elderly care responsibility. Rachel's quarterly performance evaluations within the Partnership Track Development Program consistently rated her as exceptional in strategic thinking, outstanding in professional development, and superior in leadership potential, providing regular validation of her systematic approach to career advancement and relationship management. The program feedback that she received from firm executives and legal directors reinforced her confidence about professional priorities and strategic family relationship optimization that prioritized career development over traditional family values. The annual review process for Partnership Track Development Program participants included evaluation of leadership skills, professional judgment, and character assessment that measured junior associates' potential for future firm partnership and legal leadership responsibility. Rachel's consistent excellent ratings in professional competence and strategic thinking provided validation of her systematic approach to career development and relationship management that prioritized professional advancement over traditional family values and elderly respect obligations. Michael's professional world at Chicago Metropolitan Accounting Services provided additional validation for the family's systematic approach to career prioritization and elderly relationship management that treated traditional family obligations as obstacles to overcome rather than value, maintain, and honor.
His position as senior financial analyst within one of Illinois' most respected accounting firms had created a professional environment that reinforced Rachel's strategic thinking about family relationship optimization and career advancement prioritization. The accounting projects that Michael managed at Chicago Metropolitan Accounting Services included major manufacturing clients, technology startups, and financial services companies that generated significant revenue and established his reputation as a strategic financial analyst capable of coordinating complex client relationships and financial development. His client portfolio reflected sophisticated accounting expertise and strategic thinking that impressed firm leadership and positioned him as a candidate for partnership advancement and eventual firm ownership opportunity. Michael's approach to professional networking within Chicago Metropolitan Accounting Services demonstrated his systematic understanding of career advancement and his strategic cultivation of relationships that could influence his future opportunities in accounting management. His interactions with firm executives, client relationship coordinators, and financial department leaders reflected careful relationship management that prioritized professional development over casual social connections or traditional mentorship relationships that didn't contribute to strategic career advance. The professional development activities that Michael pursued included membership in accounting associations, attendance at financial conferences, and participation in business leadership training programs that provided additional credentials and networking opportunities. His investment in career advancement reflected comprehensive, professional planning that assumed continued financial stability and freedom from economic pressures that might interfere with his strategic positioning within the competitive accounting industry. But what made Michael's professional confidence particularly significant was his complete alignment with Rachel's systematic approach to family relationship management and elderly care obligation minimization. The strategic thinking that both spouses applied to family interactions reflected their shared belief that professional success required prioritizing career development over traditional family responsibilities and elderly respect that didn't contribute to their strategic advancement within their respective business careers. The comfortable lifestyle that Michael and Rachel maintained in their Lincoln Park townhome reflected their systematic approach to family financial management and their confident assumption that their career advancement and financial stability were permanent achievements that didn't require acknowledgement or appreciation of external support systems. Their ability to coordinate expensive professional development, family activities, and career investment
without apparent financial stress, created an environment of complete confidence about their independent success and self-generated achievement. The home technology system that Michael and Rachel had installed, worth over $18,000 in premium equipment and professional installation, provided them with lifestyle advantages that distinguished their family environment from legal and accounting professionals who managed tight household budgets and financial constraints. Their ability to host sophisticated professional networking events and family gatherings without economic limitations created opportunities for career advancement and social positioning that exceeded what most business professionals could access or afford. The children's educational planning that Rachel coordinated included private school enrollment, premium extracurricular activities, and educational enhancement programs that exceeded what most professional families could afford on dual business income. Tommy's participation in expensive academic programs, professional tutoring, and competitive educational activities reflected the family's comfortable assumption that their financial resources were unlimited and permanent, rather than conditional and dependent on external support systems that required appropriate appreciation and family respect. But perhaps the most revealing aspect of both Michael and Rachel's professional confidence was their systematic dismissal of elderly family members as irrelevant to their strategic career planning and family advancement objectives. The comfortable assumption that elderly relatives represented time-consuming obligations rather than potential sources of wisdom or family connection revealed their fundamental understanding of the family relationships and traditional values that had created every professional advantage and career opportunity they considered evidence of individual achievement and personal success. The networking events that Michael and Rachel hosted in their Lincoln Park home had become legendary among their professional circles, featuring carefully curated guest lists that included rising stars from both the legal and accounting community. These monthly gatherings, which cost approximately $3,500 per event to coordinate, provided the couple with opportunities to showcase their sophisticated lifestyle, while building the kind of professional relationships that they believed were essential for continued career advancement. The conversation topics at these networking events invariably focused on professional achievements, career strategies, and industry developments, with Rachel and Michael positioning themselves as thought leaders who understood the keys to business success. Their comfortable dismissal of family obligations and elderly responsibilities became a regular theme in their professional discussion, with both spouses sharing their philosophy about maintaining career focus and avoiding traditional family complications that could interfere with strategic advancement. The guest feedback from these networking events consistently praised Rachel and Michael for their professional sophistication and strategic thinking, reinforcing their belief that their approach to family relationship management was not only appropriate but admirable. The professional colleagues who attended these events often commented on the couple's ability to maintain clear priorities and avoid the kind of family complications that seemed to hold back other ambitious professionals. During these gatherings, Rachel would often share her insights about work-life balance, emphasizing her systematic approach to family obligation management and her strategic assessment of which relationships deserved investment. Her presentations about professional development and career optimization frequently included references to the importance of maintaining focus and avoiding emotional distractions that could compromise strategic planning and professional advancement.
Michael's contributions to these professional discussions typically focused on financial planning and resource allocation, with emphasis on the importance of making calculated decisions about time investment and relationship management. His systematic approach to family interactions had become a model for other accounting professionals who struggled to balance traditional obligations with competitive career demands. The professional couples who attended these networking events often sought advice from Rachel and Michael about managing elderly relatives and family expectations that seemed to conflict with career advancement goals. The comfortable confidence with which both spouses provided guidance about family relationship optimization reflected their complete certainty that their approach represented the most sophisticated and effective strategy for professional success. Rachel's approach to family gift-giving had become particularly strategic, with careful calculation of appropriate investment levels based on relationship utility and professional consideration. Her systematic assessment of family members included evaluation of their potential contribution to her career development and their alignment with her professional image and advancement goals. The birthday celebrations and holiday gatherings that Rachel coordinated for their immediate family reflected her professional event planning skills and her strategic approach to family presentation. These events were carefully designed to maintain family relationships at the minimum acceptable level, while avoiding excessive time investment or emotional complications that might interfere with her legal career development. Michael's parallel approach to family relationship management included systematic limitation of social obligations and careful coordination of family interactions to minimize interference with his accounting responsibilities and professional networking activities. His comfortable assumption that family members should understand and accommodate his career priorities reflected months of strategic thinking about relationship optimization and professional advancement. The elderly relatives who occasionally attended family gatherings found themselves systematically marginalized through professional conversation management and strategic social coordination that treated their presence as obligatory accommodation rather than valuable family connection. Rachel and Michael's comfortable confidence in their family relationship management approach reflected their complete certainty that professional success justified treating traditional obligations as secondary consideration. Sometimes the most dangerous aspect of professional success is the confidence it creates about the permanence of support systems and the assumption that achievement grants immunity from accountability for character development and family relationship management. The business careers that Mike and Rachel had built through systematic professional advancement and strategic relationship optimization would soon be evaluated through criteria that measured not only professional competence, but also the character integrity and family values that determined whether promising business professionals deserved continued support and advancement opportunities in competitive corporate environments that required both professional excellence and personal integrity to navigate successfully. May 18, 2024, began as what should have been a routine family celebration and traditional graduation milestone, a simple family gathering that would expose the true character of the daughter-in-law whose comfortable professional lifestyle I had been secretly coordinating for 7 years, and trigger the most comprehensive demonstration of corporate authority that the Chicago business community had ever witnessed. The afternoon started with my careful preparation for Tommy's graduation party at the exclusive Riverside Country Club, including the selection of thoughtful congratulatory gifts and the coordination of my arrival, timing to accommodate Rachel's preferred social schedule that had become our family tradition over the past 4 years. The drive from my Oak Park home to the Riverside Country Club took exactly 32 minutes through the scenic suburban neighborhoods that I had helped design the professional development protocols for during my years coordinating regional business advancement. The beautiful spring weather and peaceful corporate districts provided the perfect backdrop for what I anticipated would be another pleasant family celebration, filled with updates about Tommy's college achievements, Michael's accounting project, and Rachel's legal case developments at Whitfield & Associates. My arrival at the country club at 2:15 p.m. was precisely on time for the 2:15 p.m. celebration start that Rachel had specified during our phone conversation the previous Monday, when she had confirmed our traditional graduation party plans and mentioned that she had arranged for several of her professional colleagues to attend an event that had become one of our family's most anticipated milestone celebrations. I carried with me a carefully selected graduation gift for Tommy and looked forward to sharing some stories about my own career journey that might inspire his transition into the professional world. As I approached the elegant reception area of the Riverside Country Club, where our family celebrations had been held for over 6 years, I could see the sophisticated setup that Rachel had coordinated for Tommy's graduation party. The beautifully appointed private dining room, the carefully arranged seating that accommodated both family members and professional colleagues, and the premium catering service created the kind of elegant celebration environment that reflected Rachel's professional event planning expertise and her commitment to maintaining sophisticated family presentation. Carrying Tommy's graduation gift and looking forward to our family celebration together, I expected the usual warm family greeting and immediate inclusion in the celebration activities that had characterized our graduation traditions for Tommy's educational milestone. Instead, what I encountered would become the defining moment that revealed Rachel's true priorities and triggered the most expensive lesson about family respect and elderly appreciation that any legal professional had ever received. Rachel approached me with an expression of barely concealed irritation and professional embarrassment that immediately indicated something had fundamentally changed in her approach to our family celebration tradition. Her elegant cocktail dress and carefully styled appearance suggested she had been networking with her legal colleagues and treating the graduation party as a professional development opportunity rather than a family milestone celebration. The immediate tension in her demeanor suggested that my arrival was being perceived as a complication to her career networking rather than the welcomed family participation that we had confirmed just 1 week earlier. "Helen," Rachel said with the kind of controlled professional politeness that she typically reserved for difficult client meetings and firm management situations, rather than family interactions. "I need to speak with you privately before you join the celebration. There are some important people here today, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page about appropriate conversation topics and professional presentation standards." The statement about important people immediately revealed Rachel's fundamental transformation of our family graduation celebration into a professional networking event that prioritized career advancement over family inclusion and elderly appreciation. Her reference to appropriate converse topics suggested months of strategic thinking about family reputation management and her systematic approach to elderly relationship control that treated my celebration participation as requiring professional supervision rather than natural family welcome. "Of course, Rachel," I replied while maintaining the pleasant family tone that had always characterized our interactions during celebration events. "I'm here to celebrate Tommy's achievement and share in our family milestone. I brought some gifts for him and was looking forward to hearing about his future plans and perhaps sharing some stories about career development that might be helpful as he starts his professional journey." The uncomfortable expression that crossed Rachel's face revealed her immediate recognition that my traditional family approach to celebration participation directly conflicted with her professional networking objectives for the graduation event. Her quick calculation of damage control strategies demonstrated the kind of legal crisis management thinking that she applied to client relationship complications when professional interest required strategic communication and expectation management to maintain business relationships. "Well, yes, of course we want to celebrate Tommy," Rachel acknowledged while positioning herself between me and the main celebration area, where her legal colleagues were networking and engaging in professional development conversation. "But I think it would be best if we keep the focus on Tommy's achievements and future opportunities, rather than dwelling on old stories or past experiences that might not be relevant to the sophisticated guests who are here to support his transition into the professional world." The phrase "stories or past experiences" represented Rachel's systematic approach to elderly dismissal and revealed her comfortable assumption that my life experiences and career wisdom were irrelevant complications rather than valuable family history and professional insight that could contribute to Tom's celebration and future development. Her strategic positioning to block my access to the celebration demonstrated months of careful planning about family interaction management and professional presentation optimization. But what made Rachel's approach particularly devastating was her complete confidence in her ability to manage family relationships through professional communication techniques and strategic language that treated elderly relatives like client problems, requiring efficient resolution rather than family members deserving respect, consideration, and traditional inclusion in family milestone celebrations. "I understand your concern about maintaining professional standards," I responded while processing the reality that my daughter-in-law was systematically excluding me from meaningful participation in my grandson's graduation celebration. But I hope you realize that I have some experience with professional environments and business networking that might actually complement the sophisticated atmosphere you've created for Tommy's celebration. The moment of calculation that followed my response revealed Rachel's internal assessment of family relationship management and her professional evaluation of which interactions deserved accommodation versus strategic redirection. Her legal training in expectation management was competing with her recognition that complete exclusion might create family complications that could affect her relationship with Michael and potentially interfere with their comfortable lifestyle arrangements. Actually, Helen, Rachel said with the kind of systematic reasoning that reflected her legal training in strategic communication and client expectation management. I think it would be most helpful if you could focus on spending time with Tommy privately rather than engaging with the professional guests who are here specifically to discuss his career opportunities and future business development. I'm sure you understand that family celebrations need to be managed carefully when they include networking opportunities and professional relationship building. The language that Rachel employed revealed her fundamental approach to family relationship management and her professional framework fairly treating elderly relatives like scheduling complications, requiring strategic coordination, rather than family members deserving natural inclusion and traditional respect. Her comfortable assumption that I would understand her networking-focused approach to family celebrations demonstrated her complete confidence in her systematic approach to elderly relationship. As I stood in the reception area of the country club where our family had celebrated milestones for over 6 years, listening to my daughter-in-law explain why family celebrations needed to be managed carefully to accommodate professional networking, I realized that this conversation had moved far beyond event coordination into the realm of character revelation and family priority assessment that would determine Rachel's continued access to the career support system that made her comfortable professional lifestyle possible. Rachel, I need to ask you directly, I said while maintaining the respectful tone that I had always used during our family interactions. Are you telling me that my presence at Tommy's graduation celebration would be embarrassing or inappropriate for your professional colleague? Because that seems to be what you're suggesting, and I want to make sure I understand your position clearly before I respond appropriately to this situation. The direct question forced Rachel to confront the reality of her elderly dismissal strategy and choose between honest acknowledgement of her exclusion tactics or continued strategic communication that attempted to minimize the family relationship damage while maintaining her preferred outcome of professionally optimized celebration coordination. The moment of legal calculation that followed revealed her professional assessment of relationship management options and her strategic thinking about family obligation optimization. But then came the moment that would change everything. The specific statement that would become the document, evidence of character priorities and family respect assessment that justified implementing the most comprehensive career review and professional development reconsideration in Chicago business history. Look, Helen, Rachel said with the confident dismissal that reflected months of strategic thinking about elderly relationship management and professional advance. The truth is that your factory stories and old-fashioned perspectives don't really fit with the sophisticated professional environment I've created for Tommy's celebration. These are important people from major corporations and law firms, and frankly, your background and conversation topics are embarrassing when we're trying to make professional impressions and build business relations. I need you to understand that modern professional success requires strategic presentation, and your presence here talking about outdated work experiences and traditional values is simply inappropriate for the level of networking and career development that Tommy needs for his future success. Phrase your factory stories and old-fashioned perspectives don't really fit represented the exact moment when Rachel's systematic elderly dismissal transformed from strategic family relationship management into documented evidence of character priorities that violated every provision. Brennan Professional Development Trust's beneficiary conduct requirements and family respect standard. Her comfortable classification of my presence as embarrassing revealed the complete extent of her elderly marginalization strategy and her fundamental disregard for traditional family values and elderly appreciation obligations. As I stood in the reception area of the country club, listening to my daughter-in-law explain why my factory stories were too embarrassing for her professional colleagues, I experienced the devastating reality of elderly dismissal and family exclusion that would justify implementing corporate authority consequences and career reconsideration protocols that would transform their comfortable assumptions about professional entitlement into the most expensive lesson about family respect and elderly appreciation that any legal family had ever received. I understand your position completely, Rachel, I replied with the kind of professional composure that I had developed during 41 years of managing corporate crises and executive administration challenges. Thank you for clarifying your assessment of my background and its appropriateness for your professional networking objectives. I'll make sure to adjust my expectations and participation accordingly going forward. The relief that appeared on Rachel's face revealed her comfortable assumption that elderly relatives would accept dismissal and exclusion without consequences or complications that might affect the family's professional arrangements and career stability. Her legal confidence in her strategic communication had convinced her that elderly relationship management could be optimized through efficient conversation and expectation adjustment without considering the potential implications for continued career support and professional development benefits. As I walked back to my car in the country club parking lot, carrying Tommy's graduation gift that Rachel had deemed inappropriate for her sophisticated celebration, I began processing the character assessment evidence that would determine Michael and Rachel's continued eligibility for career support and professional development benefits. The systematic elderly dismissal that I had experienced represented exactly the kind of family respect violation that triggered comprehensive trust review protocols and beneficiary conduct evaluation procedures. The drive back to my Oak Park home provided time to reflect on the 7 years anonymous, professional support that had enabled Michael and Rachel's comfortable corporate lifestyle and their systematic development of elderly exclusion strategies that treated traditional family values as optional obligations, interfering with career advancement and professional optimism. The executive infrastructure that had operated invisibly throughout their professional experience would soon become the most visible demonstration of corporate authority and family respect accountability that the Chicago business community had ever witnessed. The evening of May, as I sat in my home office while Michael and Rachel enjoyed their professionally optimized graduation celebration, I began accessing the comprehensive career management systems that would transform their comfortable assumptions about professional development into the most expensive lesson about elderly respect and family appreciation that any legal family had ever received. At 6:30 p.m., I initiated the first phase of what would become the most comprehensive beneficiary review in Chicago corporate history by accessing the Brennan Professional Development Trust secure database systems and implementing career advancement assessment status for both Michael Thomas Brennan's accounting accounts, Rachel Marie Thornton Brennan's legal development records. The administrative classification that I applied indicated potential beneficiary conduct violations requiring comprehensive character evaluation throughout the regional professional development network. The beneficiary assessment protocols that I activated included comprehensive coordination that affected Michael's performance verification systems, continuing education documentation,
client relationship record, and promotion eligibility that determined his access to continued career advancement and professional planning security. The systematic nature of the classification modifications ensured that every platform and system connected to his professional expectations experienced coordinated changes that created immediate complications for his career planning and long-term consequences for his family's professional security and lifestyle maintenance assumption. By 7:15 p.m., the first automated notifications had been generated by trust systems that detected beneficiary irregularities affecting both Michael's accounting status and Rachel's legal development coordination assessment. The alert protocols that I had implemented included corporate notification requirements that triggered immediate evaluation of career distribution eligibility and professional coordination assessment that could affect their family's business planning calculations, and continued advancement access based on character evaluation standards and family respect verification protocols. The systematic trust actions that I implemented over the following 72 hours would transform Michael and Rachel's comfortable assumptions about professional development and career entitlements into the most comprehensive demonstration of corporate authority that the regional business trust community had ever witnessed. The evidence that I had compiled included every instance of Rachel's systematic elderly dismissal, every conversation about family relationship optimization, and every strategic decision to treat family respect as optional expenses, interfering with professional objectives and career management requirements. The first immediate impact of my trust modifications became apparent when Michael attempted to access their monthly professional development coordination system at 8:45 a.m. on May 21st and discovered that their career accounts had been classified as under beneficiary review, pending character assessment by the Midwest Regional Professional Authority. The panic that followed his discovery revealed the extent to which their family professional stability and comfortable lifestyle depended on career distributions and trust coordination that they had never understood or appreciated during Rachel's systematic elderly dismissal and family relationship optimization. The panicked phone call that I received came from Michael at 9:30 a.m., with obvious desperation and confusion about the administrative complications that were affecting their career access and family professional planning. "Mom, something terrible is happening with our professional development accounts and career financing," he announced with the kind of legal emergency language that revealed his immediate understanding of catastrophic professional implications. "Our career distributions have been suspended, and both companies are asking for documentation about beneficiary conduct evaluation and family respect verification." The conversation that followed revealed Michael's sudden recognition that the elderly mother he had allowed Rachel to systematically dismiss from family celebrations might possess administrative capabilities and corporate authority that could affect their professional eligibility and career security in ways they had never imagined or prepared for during months of strategic family relationship management and professional advancement consultation. The Illinois Professional Development Authority is requesting immediate documentation about our career status and character assessment verification, Michael continued with growing panic about the implications for their family's professional security and financial stability planning. "This is affecting our advancement standing and potentially compromising our promotion access with programs that require verified corporate backing and accurate professional positioning." But the consequences expanded far beyond simple career complications. Within the first week, Rachel discovered that her partnership track development program participation was under review when Whitfield and Associates received inquiries about her family character assessment status from the Illinois Bar Association's Professional Development Committee. The prestigious program that had been the cornerstone of her career advancement strategy suddenly became unavailable pending beneficiary conduct verification and family respect evaluation. The systematic consequences that continued throughout the second week included legal evaluation procedures that questioned Rachel's professional development documentation and character assessment verification, career planning investigations that could affect her law firm standing and partnership status, and regional coordination inquiries about beneficiary classification changes that required extensive documentation and administrative review to resolve through proper channels and verification. But perhaps the most devastating immediate impact was the effect on Michael and Rachel's professional networking and career advancement negotiations that required verified corporate backing and accurate business positioning to maintain their comfortable lifestyle and premium professional. The advancement applications that they had been pursuing based on their guaranteed professional value became impossible to complete when business institutions discovered that their primary career backing no longer qualified for verified professional status or exclusive advancement financing. Prestigious professional status that Michael and Rachel had been maintaining in their respective industries required verified career backing and accurate professional positioning that distinguished authentic advancement from temporary arrangements and questionable funding management that didn't reflect genuine business stability and corporate credibility. The career classification complications that I had implemented triggered immediate professional review and potential status suspension that could affect their annual lifestyle projections and industry standing advance. By the end of the second week, the comprehensive nature of Michael and Rachel's career classification complications had generated legal consultation fees exceeding $67,000 and administrative documentation requirements that consumed over 140 hours of their professional time, and business standing complications that required extensive verification procedures and potential lifestyle restructuring based on career status uncertainty and trust administration challenges. It was during this crisis that I decided to implement the most dramatic demonstration of corporate authority that Chicago's business community had ever witnessed. On June 3, 2024, exactly 2 weeks after Rachel had dismissed my factory stories as embarrassing, I activated the full scope of my executive network for a very special occasion, my 75th birthday party. The invitations that went out that morning weren't sent to elderly friends or retirement community members. They were sent to the most powerful executives in Chicago's business community, people whose names Rachel and Michael would recognize immediately because they controlled the very companies where my family worked. At 10:00 a.m., Jonathan Whitfield, senior managing partner of Whitfield and Associates, received a personal invitation to Helen Brennan's 75th birthday celebration, along with a note about my consulting relationship with your firm's professional development program. At 10:15 a.m., Patricia Morrison, CEO of Chicago Metropolitan Accounting Services, received her invitation with a similar note about my advisory role in your company's career advancement protocol. But the most significant invitation went to Robert Chen, Chairman and CEO of Morrison Industries, the company whose massive accounts kept both Whitfield and Associates and Chicago Metropolitan Accounting Services profitable, and whose executive board I had served on for 37 years. June 8, 2024, arrived with perfect weather for an outdoor celebration at the elegant Lakefront Manor, one of Chicago's most exclusive private event venues. The party I had arranged wasn't a modest elderly gathering. It was a sophisticated corporate networking event that would cost approximately $105,000 and feature the kind of guest list that most business professionals could only dream of accessing. At 2:00 p.m., as guests began arriving, the parking area filled with luxury vehicles and corporate limousines that reflected the caliber of attendee. The guest list included 12 Fortune 500 CEOs, 47 senior corporate executives, 23 federal business development officials, and 18 university presidents, whose institutions had benefited from my educational foundation grant. Michael and Rachel arrived at 2:30 p.m., expecting to find a simple family birthday gathering. Instead, they walked into the most exclusive corporate networking event in Chicago's business community. Their confusion was evident as they recognized name after name from the business world, people they had only seen in industry publications and corporate leadership magazines. The moment of complete revelation came at 3:15 p.m. when Robert Chen took the microphone to address the assembled crowd of Chicago's business elite. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced to the sophisticated audience, "we're here to honor Helen Catherine Brennan, whose 41 years of executive leadership at Morrison Industries transformed not only our company but the entire Chicago business community. Helen's vision created the professional development networks that have supported thousands of careers, including the funding programs that ensure talented young professionals receive the mentorship and advancement opportunities they need to succeed."
The speech continued for 12 minutes, detailing my role in creating the very career support systems that had enabled Michael and Rachel's professional success. As Chen spoke, my family's faces transformed from confusion to recognition to absolute horror, as they realized the true scope of what they had dismissed as embarrassing factory stories. Helen's retirement from Morrison Industries in 2009 certainly didn't end her influence in our business community, Chen continued. Her consulting role with our executive board and her leadership of the Brennan Professional Development Trust have continued to shape careers and create opportunities throughout the Chicago metropolitan area. The professional development programs she designed have supported over 800 young professionals in achieving their career goals, including many who work at companies represented here today. Following Chen's speech, the networking portion of the party created the most uncomfortable experience of Michael and Rachel's professional lives. As they moved through the crowd, they encountered person after person who controlled their career destinies, people who knew intimate details about their professional development funding and character assessment status. Jonathan Whitfield Sr. approached Rachel with a knowing smile. "Thornton Brennan, what a pleasure to finally meet Helen's daughter-in-law. She's told us so much about you during our quarterly board meetings, where we review the Partnership Track Development Program funding. I understand there have been some recent character assessment complications that we'll need to discuss at our next review session." Patricia Morrison's conversation with Michael proved equally devastating. "Mr. Brennan, your mother has been such an inspiration to our professional development programs. It's unfortunate that recent beneficiary conduct evaluations have raised some concerns about family respect standards. We'll need to schedule a meeting to discuss how these character assessment issues might affect your advancement trajectory." The most significant conversation occurred when Dr. Margaret Hawthorne, president of Northwestern University's Business School and a longtime colleague, shared details about my academic consulting work. "Helen has been instrumental in designing our executive education programs and professional development curricula. Her research on family values in corporate leadership has been groundbreaking, particularly her work on how character assessment and elderly respect correlate with long-term professional success." As the party continued, Michael and Rachel discovered that virtually every aspect of their professional lives had been influenced by my corporate network. The continuing education programs they had attended, the networking events that had advanced their careers, the professional development opportunities that had set them apart from their peers, all had been coordinated through systems I had designed and relationships I had cultivated. The revelation extended to their lifestyle advantages as well. The mortgage assistance that had enabled their Lincoln Park townhome purchase had been facilitated through my banking relationship. The premium insurance coverage that protected their professional liability had been arranged through my corporate connection. Even the country club membership where Tommy's graduation party had been held was connected to my corporate network, a fact that made Rachel's dismissal of my inappropriate presence particularly ironic. Rather than permanently destroying Michael and Rachel's careers, I chose to create an opportunity for genuine character development and family value restoration. The solution I proposed would serve both their professional redemption and community benefit, while creating opportunities for authentic family healing and meaningful corporate responsibility. Instead of permanently suspending their career fund, I established the Brennan Family Professional Responsibility Program that would operate for 18 months, requiring both Michael and Rachel to coordinate professional development mentorship for young business professionals from underserved communities while working directly under my supervision as program co-director. The program would serve over 200 young professionals during its operation, while creating opportunities for my family to learn about corporate responsibility and elderly appreciation that distinguished meaningful community contribution from superficial professional advancement. The Family Professional Responsibility program that we developed required Michael and Rachel to work alongside experienced business mentors, community development professionals, and corporate service coordinators who understood the value of traditional wisdom and generational respect while providing essential professional development services to underserved populations throughout the Chicago metropolitan area. The program would combine their legal and accounting expertise with community service education that served both individual professional needs and broader business advocacy. But perhaps the most significant aspect of the program was the requirement that Michael and Rachel work directly under my supervision as program co-directors, learning about trust administration and corporate development management that would provide them with genuine understanding of the business infrastructure that had been supporting their comfortable lifestyle throughout their systematic assumption that professional advancement was self-funded rather than earned through character development and elderly respect. The transformation that began during the first month of the Family Professional Responsibility program exceeded even my own expectations for what community service could accomplish when combined with character accountability and elderly recognition. Rachel's initial reluctance to participate in hands-on professional development work gradually evolved into genuine appreciation for the young professionals we served and understanding of the administrative expertise required for effective trust coordination and corporate development management. The young business professionals who worked alongside Michael and Rachel in the Family Professional Responsibility program included recent graduates from diverse backgrounds, former military personnel transitioning to corporate careers, and community college students whose professional potential had been overlooked by traditional advancement programs. These dedicated individuals provided daily examples of the professional excellence and character integrity that Michael and Rachel had neglected during their systematic family relationship restructuring and career optimization strategy. Maria Rodriguez, a 26-year-old accounting graduate who had been working 2 jobs while completing her CPA certification, became particularly influential in helping Michael understand the connection between family respect and professional responsibility. She told him during their 8th week of working together, "I've been supporting my grandmother and elderly relatives while building my career, and I can tell you that the most successful professionals I know always understand how to honor their family members and learn from generational wisdom." The professional development training that Rachel received alongside 28-year-old community organizer James Washington, who had been coordinating business education programs for underserved communities while completing his law degree, provided daily demonstrations of how professional expertise and elderly experience could combine to create community impact that exceeded anything achievable through individual advancement or corporate optimization. James's traditional community principles and family engagement values challenged Rachel's assumptions about professional success and personal satisfaction in ways that legal training had never provided. The 18 months of Family Professional Responsibility program operation created measurable community impact that included coordinating professional development support for over 200 young business professionals, providing career education to training 27 community members in professional advocacy and business coordination, and creating ongoing support networks that continued serving underserved professionals long after the formal program concluded. The success of the program attracted attention from corporate administrators throughout the Midwest and established a model for family-based community service that honored both professional needs and intergenerational collaboration. But perhaps the most significant transformation was the change in Michael and Rachel's understanding of family relationships and the value of elderly wisdom in creating meaningful community contribution. Their systematic elderly dismissal and career optimization strategies were replaced by genuine appreciation for my corporate expertise and recognition of how family respect and community service could create personal satisfaction and family fulfillment that exceeded anything achievable through competitive professional advancement and strategic family management. The legal career that Rachel rebuilt after completing her community service focused on providing nonprofit business coordination and professional advocacy rather than competitive firm advancement and partnership positioning. Her work developing legal strategies for community organizations, professional development facilities generated meaningful career satisfaction while providing genuine community contribution that distinguished authentic legal practice from superficial career success and systematic family dismissal. Rachel's approach to professional development evolved to include nonprofit business coordination and community advocacy initiatives that leveraged her legal expertise for professional benefit and family service support. Her work developing legal strategies for business organizations and professional advocacy groups provided career advancement opportunities while creating authentic community impact and family pride that exceeded anything she had achieved through systematic elderly dismissal and career optimization. 5 years later, the transformation had become complete and lasting. Michael and Rachel's approach to family relationships had been fundamentally altered by their experience in the Family Professional Responsibility Program. The systematic elderly dismissal that had characterized their previous behavior was replaced by genuine appreciation for wisdom and experience that could only come from acknowledging their dependence on the very person they had dismissed. The modest but comfortable home in Oak Forest where Michael and Rachel now lived, costing $2,400 monthly and providing authentic family living without luxury presentation requirements, became the foundation for genuine family relationships and community engagement, rather than systematic professional career development and elderly relationship management. The simple furnishings and traditional family activities that characterized their transformed lifestyle reflected authentic values and priorities that distinguished lasting happiness from temporary professional positioning and systematic family disrespect. The beautiful lakefront home in Evanston where I now lived, purchased with proceeds from my corporate consulting work and serving as both family residence and community coordination center, regularly hosted family gatherings that included meaningful conversation, mutual respect, and appreciation for the wisdom that comes with experience. The dining room table where we now shared meals featured place settings for everyone, including the elderly relatives whose stories and experiences were welcomed as valuable contributions to family connection, rather than embarrassing interruptions to professional networking. Michael's current position as Community Development Financial Coordinator at Northwestern Illinois Social Services, earning $71,000 annually while coordinating professional development programs and family business education throughout the region, provided meaningful work that honored both his accounting expertise and his commitment to community service and family value. His work developing financial literacy programs and accessible business services throughout Illinois created genuine impact while maintaining the family relationships and elderly respect that he had learned through his professional development experience. Rachel's transformation to Community Legal Advocacy Director at Cook County Legal Aid, earning $68,000 annually while coordinating professional development programs and legal community education throughout Chicago, provided meaningful professional work that honored both her legal expertise and her commitment to community service and family value. Her work developing legal advocacy programs and accessible community services throughout the Chicago metropolitan area created genuine impact while maintaining the family relationships and elderly respect that distinguished authentic success from superficial professional advancement. Family Professional Development Scholarship that I re-established for Michael and Rachel after their successful completion of the Family Professional Responsibility Program was restructured to include ongoing community service requirements and annual character assessments that ensured continued family respect and elderly appreciation. The modified trust structure required quarterly volunteer coordination with elderly community members and annual family loyalty verification that distinguished deserving professional recipients from those who might revert to systematic elderly dismissal and career optimization thinking. Tommy, now 24 and working as a junior business analyst at a community development corporation, had learned from his parents' experience and maintained close relationships with all family members, including the grandmother whose factory stories he now recognized as valuable business wisdom and professional insight. His approach to career development included regular consultation with elderly relatives and appreciation for the generational knowledge that created opportunities for authentic professional success. As I write this final chapter from my beautiful lakefront home office, surrounded by family photographs that document our journey toward authentic relationships and mutual respect, corporate commendations that honor my career achievement, and community recognition that celebrates the Family Professional Responsibility Program's ongoing impact throughout the Chicago region, I reflect on the most important lesson of this entire experience,
the daughter-in-law who told me my factory stories were too embarrassing for important people, discovered that respect for elderly relatives isn't optional accommodation. It's the foundation for professional eligibility and corporate coordination that determines whether families build meaningful legacies or destroy opportunities through systematic dismissal of generational wisdom. Traditional values that created every career advantage they considered evidence of individual achievement and personal success. The elegant country club where I had been excluded from family celebration became the location for quarterly meetings of the Brennan Professional Development Foundation, where young professionals learn about the critical importance of elderly respect and family loyalty alongside business skills and career advancement techniques. The systematic professional career development strategy that had been used to exclude an elderly family member was transformed into community service that demonstrated how corporate administration and family healing could create opportunities for authentic contribution and meaningful personal satisfaction. But perhaps the most important legacy of this experience has been the broader recognition throughout the Chicago business community that elderly expertise and traditional family values provide the foundation for sustainable professional service and meaningful corporate relationships. The hundreds of families who have participated in family professional responsibility programs understand that respecting elderly relatives and maintaining family loyalty creates opportunities for authentic community engagement and lasting personal satisfaction. My corporate consulting work continues expanding throughout the Midwest, with business development administrators in 8 states implementing our family-based professional models that honor both corporate responsibility and intergenerational respect. The national recognition of our approach to elderly inclusion and family-centered community service has created opportunities for meaningful contribution to professional advocacy nationwide. The Helen Catherine Brennan Fellowship for Family-Based Professional Practice, established at Northwestern University's Business School, provides annual support for community development professionals who demonstrate both business competence and commitment to elderly respect and family engagement in their advocacy work. The fellowship program ensures that future corporate professionals understand the importance of intergenerational collaboration and family values in creating sustainable community impact and authentic professional advocacy. Remember, professional advancement and corporate coordination aren't guaranteed family privileges, they're earned recognition of demonstrated character and elderly respect that creates foundation for business credibility and authentic community contribution. From professional access and became community service requirements, taught Michael and Rachel about the true meaning of corporate administration and the critical importance of honoring the elderly wisdom that distinguished lasting professional responsibility from superficial lifestyle presentation and systematic family dismissal. The corporate empire that had operated invisibly throughout Rachel's comfortable assumptions became the visible foundation for her transformation into an authentic community professional who understood that true business success comes from serving others, respecting the elderly relatives, whose wisdom and expertise created opportunities for meaningful contribution, rather than competitive professional training and systematic generational dismissal that prioritized career management over authentic relationships and community values. Sometimes the most valuable lesson you can teach ungrateful family members is that professional privilege isn't automatic entitlement, it's earned recognition that continues only when families demonstrate appropriate respect for elderly wisdom and traditional values that create the foundation for authentic community service and meaningful corporate administration. The career coordination that had protected Rachel's comfortable lifestyle became the foundation for her transformation into a community servant who understood that true success comes from serving others while honoring the elderly relatives. Lifetime of expertise and service created every opportunity for authentic contribution and family legacy development. The executive funding that served systematic elderly dismissal became the heart of a community program that coordinated professional development for hundreds, while teaching the most important lesson of all: respect for elderly relatives isn't just family courtesy, it's the foundation for corporate eligibility and authentic community contribution that distinguishes meaningful service from superficial career presentation, and systematic dismissal of the generational wisdom creates opportunities for lasting impact and authentic personal satisfaction in service to others. The factory stories that Rachel found so embarrassing became the foundation for a professional development curriculum that has helped over 500 young business professionals understand that true corporate leadership comes from combining professional competence with character integrity and family respect. The old-fashioned perspectives she dismissed as inappropriate became the core values that distinguished lasting business success from temporary professional positioning. And the party where she expected to find an embarrassing elderly gathering instead became the most important networking event of her professional life, the moment when she finally understood that the person she had been dismissing was the very person whose corporate influence had created every opportunity she had ever received, and whose wisdom and expertise offered the only path to authentic professional success and meaningful family satisfaction.
Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.